Hello everybody, we're here with Angel Santiago. He's going to show us his unique, maybe not so unique, I don't know at this point, with the meta Genesis deck.
Hey guys, Angel over here. Yes, this is the Fenrir loop deck. Not too sure as for why it's called the loop deck. It's just an OT stack deck, but here it is. So the starter, first and foremost, we actually run the OG starter. Better leading. He puts himself to soul, gives your Vanguard the ability that when you soul blast a card, you can call that card out for free. Pale Moon shenanigans. He's just there to get you set up. We'll go into the main boss card. Of course, you're going to run 4 OG Fenrirs. You mainly use him for History Stride and his Soul Charge 3. On Stride is really nice, as well as, once again, he has the ability that when you Soul Blast a card, you can call the card out, but his does cost a CB. Next up, we have Spiritual Sorcerer Kraut. He's starting to become more of a staple card. When he's placed, he Soul Charges 1 for each of your units, so very easily he can Soul Charge you 6 cards. Helps you turbo into your big play. We also run 1 Bracing Ladder. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty necessary with Norakami and everything running around these days. Gives you just protection for your kill turn. If your kill turn gets interrupted because you don't have this, you're gonna cry. Lastly, we run 1 copy of Yggdrasil. This is more so a flex spot. There's 2 flex boxes, this one and the Norn. Reason that I run the Yggdrasil and Norn combo is so that way you get 1 more extra attack. Usually it's very easy to get yourself set up with this card. You just need to see a copy of her, and if you have to put the Norns back, you can. But yeah, she gives you that last extra attack that's usually necessary for the decks that can superior PG. Grade 2s, we run 3 Witcher Grapes Grappa. When she's Soul Blasted, you may Soul Charge 2, so she's just there to start turboing. We run the 1 copy of Norn for the Restander play. And we run 1 copy of Injection Angel. He's kind of there to, if you damage check one of your key pieces, he can put a trigger from your hand into your damage zone, grab a card from your damage zone to your hand. So he's just there for, like I said, to grab your pieces. We run 1 copy of Gluttner, CB1 Soul Charge 1. You just choose any card from your soul to add it to your hand. This is usually how you will grab your ladder. In the late game, he also has another effect to get 10k power, which is usually irrelevant. But yeah, he can actually be flexed in and out with the next grade 2 I'm about to show you, if it's to your style. I run 3 Falling Star Sorcerer Vines. He works exactly like Gluttner, except he requires you to discard a card, and you can only add a normal unit from your soul to your hand. So he's just free, but like I said, you still need to run the 1 Gluttner to grab the ladder. Next we have Venus Witch Repler. She actually is the last piece in your kill turn. When she gets placed, you Soul Charge anything from your drop area. But when she attacks, you can CB1 to copy the power and the critical of the power and a critical that a unit has gotten from trigger effects. So basically, when you put an OT on another rear guard, she swings and she copies the OT's power plus whatever extra criticals you get from there. So she is that extra attack usually as well. Lastly, we run 1 Knight of Exsurgence Diring. This card, Soul Blast 1, discard a card, take a Genesis card from your drop area to your hand. So that he's just there to help you grab your pieces. Again, the Soul Blast part is actually rather nice because he can activate Fenrir's skill to call the card that you Soul Blasted, and while picking up a different piece. On to grade 1s. We go into 1 Claimer Harry. When a card is Soul Blasted, you put it to the bottom of your deck to countercharge 1. He's just there as basically an extra Valencia to kind of like stack your deck, but also the countercharge is nice. Speaking of Valencia, we run 4 copies of her. She is one of the main pieces of the entire combo. When she's soul blasted during the main phase, you can bind her to send 2 cards from your drop area. 1 card from your drop area goes to the bottom of your deck. The other one will go into your soul. So that's how you kind of set up your OT play into a double crit. Next, we have the limited card instead of bands, which don't know why. We have this at 1 of Shacklefetter Gelja. Activating from the soul, you put them to the bottom of your deck to give a rearguard 3000 power. Then if you have a Fenrir Vanguard, you'll soul charge 2 and choose another unit to get 3000 power. Usually you kind of want to use him for when you stack the OT. You put this right under the OT so that way you will draw him and not draw a trigger. But yeah, I don't know why he's here. He really should have been banned at this point, but they put him to 1. Consistency piece, Mythic Beast Skull, top 5 for grade 3. These can be changed out for the stride, the original ones to grab the Fenrir directly. Either option is viable. I just do recommend to run a way to search for Fenrir in general. And lastly, we have for Knight of Heavenly Roar Reedy. This card you can run it at a 3 of if you like. I run it at a 4 because she is the main combo starter, and you can actually turn any turn from a bad turn to a really good turn if she is in your hand. She's actually let me to win on my first stride turns multiple times because of her activate during the main phase Soul Blast to mess around with Armaruta's soul requirements and then proceed to one-shot opponents. When her effect is you Soul Blast 2 to increase the power of your triggers by 5,000 for the turn. So very quickly, I activate her 7 to 8 times, and now my triggers are plus 35, plus 40k, and I have rear guards that can swing for over 100. So even if I damage check the OT, I will still be able to hit high enough that they will need a PG anyways. Triggers. We run the red OT. This is kind of mandatory on it. It's the one that gives the rear guard the ability to restand at the end of the battle it attacked. Super important because you're going to stack this plus 2 crits, so your rear guard will be swinging for 3 damage most of the time, with the ability to restand twice. 3 stride crits. We run 4 draw triggers, 4 draw trigger PGs, 4 the crits that draw when damaged, and 4 heals. Do keep in mind this deck doesn't run Elementaria, that's why we just run 4 PGs. Our goal is to just kill the opponent as fast as possible, and these let you draw defensively if things go south. G-Zone, 1 Harmonics, of course. We need the Guardian ticket, pretty self-explanatory. We run 2 of the History Stride because we do want to History Stride first to get the double markers. We're on the G Fenrirs, and plus her stride's not actually that terrible. Soul Blast 3, top 3, take 1 to your hand, the rest go to your soul. She actually helps out a lot with filtering and finding the pieces to set up for your kill turn. We run Armaruta. We run her at a 2 of. Usually 1 is perfectly fine, but 2 is just as fine. She is your kill turn. She is your main box card. On place revelation. The ability to flip a card face up to your G zone, give a rear guard 10k and a crit. Plus you draw 2 and soul charge 5 if you have 4 or less cards in your soul. Really nice for when you go second. That's the only time that effect is really going to be active. What you really use her is for the second ability. At the end of the battle that she attacks, you Soul Blast 15, stand a rear guard, and until the end of the turn, your opponent cannot call Sentinels from hand. So on the big kill turn, you will have more than enough soul to guard restrict the opponent out from PGing, and unless you're Grand Blue, it's very difficult to be able to guard the rest of the turn with the G guards, essentially. You have Elementary is the only other card that gets around it besides the G guards. The rest of the G zone, honestly, is kind of like flex spots. You can run. I run one of the Fenrir just because he has Fenrir in his name, and if I have to write a different card, I at least have access to Gelja. Also, his act ability to Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 3 to draw a card actually does come up quite often because it does let you start the turn essentially. I don't know why this isn't here, but it's in here. It's very pretty. You're never going to use it, but CV1 SP6, Superior Stride it. It can actually just be another card. Like I said, the rest of the G zone's kind of like not too relevant. Muspel and Vanguard, you're never going to touch these cards, but at least she can draw you a card or countercharge a card, and he can stack the deck, or stack the top 4. G guards, run 2 of Iris. She soul charges 3 from your drop. Very good, very relevant actually for guarding early. I run 2 Ear. She soul charges 3 from the drop essentially, but she is a 30k shield. And then arguably one of the best G guards we've ever gotten. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Anarvada? I lied, I did try to pronounce it. This card is incredibly good. It takes up 3 cards total, either from rear guards or from your hand, and you put them to your soul to choose a unit to get -2 critical until the end of the turn. It also gets 10k shield. The -2 crit shuts down so many decks that have multiple restandings, multiple restanding rear guards, or vanguards too. So, card's really good. That was the deck. At a request, I will show how more or less how the loop does work. On an ideal situation, you're going to have something very similar to this board state. This is the only gauge that actually matters on the board state. I put the other one there for flavor. We're on an Armored Vanguard. At this stage of the game, you will probably have. Actually, it'll be more like 2 cards within the deck. The entire deck will soul charge all your cards using Krauts, using Grappas, and you'll use Reedy's effects to soul blast. You want to soul blast the OT and the crits. So you'll soul blast these to have her effect be active for the turn. Then you'll use her effect again. The first one will soul blast 2 Valencias. Valencia's effects will bind them. You'll put a critical over trigger to the bottom of your deck, very specifically, like that, followed by a Gelja effect to go to the bottom. So charge 2 more, giving this power. Then you'll soul blast 2 more Valencias, putting these back to the bottom of the deck. Of course, the only thing I didn't do was you put 4 cards from your drop area into your soul. More likely than not, you'll be putting these back into your soul. And then you have more than enough cards within your soul for her effect. It will go rear guard swing, Vanguard swing, drive check, crit, giving all effects there, OT, all effects there, and I draw. Crit again, all effects there. Armorudus, Soul Blast to restand this. And then now for the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot PG. This rear guard has over 100 million power. It will have at a minimum +2 criticals. If you are able to go first, you will have a force 2 marker on the van, or not on the van. You'll have a force 2 marker on the rear guard, another force 2 marker on this rear guard. But this rear guard would swing, 100 million, 4 damage total, 2 from the crits, 1 from force 2. Restand, 100 million again with the boost. Norn's effect, discard, restand, swings 1 more time. Unless you're Grand Blue, no shadows can do it. Were there any other cards that can superior PGs?
Royals. My one, yeah, that's the face I get.
Vanguard swung at your rear guard. Were you gonna drop a dismal on that?
No. Well, thanks for showing us your deck, man, and the combo.
No problem.
It's really annoying to play against.
What do you
to
mean?
Your credit.
Don't you love playing against Solitaire?
Until next time, bye.